In today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 10 cards that could bring you a nice financial return. They're coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel, you'll somehow find me out there in the land of YouTube. Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to check out my content today. I really hope you enjoy it. And remember, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Join in the fun. It's free to do, and it helps the small YouTube channel grow. Just go ahead, just click the button. It'll be great. Guys, I know I missed you guys the live stream last night. Those who didn't make it, don't worry. It's all good. We had a great time. Let's have a fun Monday. Hope you're having a good Monday. Let's do a top 10 video to kick back and relax with. On Tuesday, I have a financial update videos for reserve list cards, but for today, just some cards I believe are going to go up in value. So cards you may want to buy because there is potential for growth and a nice return. Now remember, I didn't graduate Magic University. I don't have a financial degree from Magic University, and this is an entertainment channel only for entertainment purposes. All right, guys, number 10, kicking it off is going to be Mox Amber. I bought this card for $5 a card, if you can believe it. It was $5 a card when I was buying this thing, $5.18 or something. My cost basis total is $7.62 a card. Okay, that's my total cost base on every single copy I own, which is in the hundreds to low thousands of copies of Mox Amber. I stopped counting, honestly. This card right now has been dipping down, but we've had it as high as $40, $39.99. This card, because they've printed lower casting cost legendary creatures, and because Wizards doesn't like Moxes to fail, they tend to print lower things to go with the Moxes or cards that can be paired off with a Mox. Even Mox Tanalite's been climbing in value. So this card actually has the potential to break that $40 barrier based on what they've been printing lately. You can expect that power creep to be a real thing, which helps cards like this exist and actually have uses, okay? So for those people who tease me, guess what? This card has been going up. Way to go. Number 9. That's right, number 9. Force of Negation. Now, I talked about this card just like a week ago. If they reprint it in Modern Horizons 2 in like a specialty slot or in the list in the set, it's going to be rare to get. Okay, if they reprint it in the set, they may even jump it to Mythic for all you know. They can do what they want, make it harder to get. So it still won't be as often as it was when Modern Horizons came out. So this card, even if it gets reprinted, it won't be the same. But a lot of people are hesitating picking up this card. A lot of people. You don't have to hesitate. If you can get it for that $60 mark Canadian, $70 mark Canadian, that's fine, because I believe this card's going to go over to the $100 level pretty quick, even if it does get reprinted, because it just will be reprinted in that same way, making the value of the originals climb up. When they start getting the alternate artwork in a couple years on this card, that's when you can lose some value, but you'll have time to decide if you want to sell or keep a play set for yourself. Oh, I clicked it again. Now, number 8, OCO Thief. I know, right? He's the Thief of Crowns or whatever. He is the meme card for power creep. You're probably wondering why he's here. He's still usable in a lot of formats people play. And it's $17 a copy for a regular edition one. That's really cheap for what he can still do and what he can bring to a deck. Throne of Eldraine is done. It's not being printed. It's kind of technically out of print. You're not going to see any more coming from the taps at Wizards, which means this card is going to start creeping up unless they print it again. And they probably won't be printing anytime soon because it's banned in a lot of the modern format, right? So who knows where it'll go, but I think it's going to go up, even if it's just a slow, gradual climb. But I think it could reach $40, $50 for a basic copy. So I'm waiting to see myself. I have like 6, 7 copies. I'm waiting to see, but I have a good feeling about this card, and that's why it's at number 8. Number 7. Number 7 is the Pathways. Guys, these are like $3 a piece. That's really cheap, okay? We know, like, Ikoria and stuff, some of those things are going to rotate out before you know it. Pathways will probably be a go-to land. People are going to need them. They're going to be awesome, and they're still, underpriced. Okay? They should be that $5 to $7 level. I can see them climbing to that level, especially the Kaldheim ones, which there would be less of a printing of them, and there's only 4 in the set as opposed to 6. So it's going to be a sought-after card. People are going to need them, and they get used in all kinds of decks now. Even if people consider it not as good as other mana combinations of lands, it's still going to be highly desirable, and the art is epic with the full art, and they're still really lowly priced. So it's number 7. It is going to move. I just don't know how high. I'm tracking. Number 6, the Bibioplex. Okay, the Bibioplex. I like this card. I've told people this. The Bibioplex, you got to remember, it doesn't come into play tapped. Gives you colorless. You can tap it and 2. Look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant source, you can put it in your hand. If it's not, you can cycle and put it in your graveyard, depending on what you're trying to do with your deck. That means multiple usability. You can only use this power when you're at 7 cards in hand or 0 in hand. That's not that hard to do on either occasion. I myself have been buying some, as you can see. I've been picking up some full art foils to add to my collection, because all those cards you just saw, the total price was like $48 for like 2 pages worth. Okay, very inexpensive card that I believe has some real potential to go up, especially in the later years. It may not be hitting it for people right now because they can't quite figure out how to do it, but quirky lands like this with no drawback always end well. Okay, and I mean, who cares if you spend $50 buying 100 copies, right? Very cheap. The snarls. Now, the fact that these guys can go along with the trioms and stuff is very nice. They're going to be used quite a bit after some of the cards rotate out. And again, $2-3, it's going to go up, okay? It's going to be usable. It's going to hit the $5-6 mark, no doubt about it. Maybe even potentially higher. So I'm keeping my eye. I do have a few copies myself that I just happened to get in some of the pre-release kits I opened. I'm curious about how high they'll go, but they definitely have potential to go way higher than they are. And to a lot of people, they're already sought after. Okay, so keep an eye on that, because people are looking for them and buying them up. All right, Prismari. Weird card, but as a 4 casting cost. 3/4 flying creature. You can see why it's at number 4, right? Artifacts get to tap for mana. That's a bonus right there when he comes into play. The fact you're thinking, I mean, I know you can only use it to cast your instant and sorceries and stuff, right? But it doesn't matter, because there's so many instants and sorceries you could use with this particular card, and mana combinations and the virtual of all the decks you can build with. I can see why this card is going to go higher and why people are seeking it out, okay? So it hasn't quite been figured out, but you can see why it's starting to climb, because it's going to have mega uses later on for a lot of decks. I can't wait. Now, number 3 really shouldn't be a surprise. Number 3. Number 4, we had Prismari, but number 3, vornclicks. I'm seeing this card in basically every deck I'm playing against on Arena. I'm checking with people I know. They're keeping the copies they got. He's $38 right now. He's highly sought after. The fact he doubles counters on all kinds of stuff means you can build these Super Friends decks where you can like play them off on like turn 6. You're like, oh, my Ugin came out. It can just pop off right now. That's crazy. That's why people aren't getting rid of it, and that's why the buy list is starting to creep up. Very, very desirable card, and people are going to want it. So keep an eye out for him. If you have him, keep him, because he's going to go higher. All right, number 2. Trioms. Okay, we've talked about this just on the weekend. I gave people a heads-up video saying, hey, these are really starting to climb. And I checked my weekend data. They're really moving, okay? People are starting to gobble these things up. They're getting their playsets, they're getting things in order, because they realize that it's like, hey, this can be played basically everywhere. Gotta have them. And it really allows you to make those multicolored decks, and really, you can abuse people, which is a lot of fun. So these cards are going to go higher. They're at that $12 to $14 mark. I can see them hitting into the 20s, okay? So keep an eye out for them. If you can find them cheap, definitely grab them. You're going to see a potential gain. For that reason, they are number 2. I know, now you're wondering. You're all humming and hawing saying, what could possibly be number 1? What could be on the list? Because I agree, my list may not be the same as yours at home. And I'd be happy to hear what you guys have to say in the comments section. Leave me a good comment saying what your list would be. I'm happy to see. And I'll just cross-compare it and see what I think the stats look like. Now, for our number 1, Fetchlands. They're already starting to dip. I've noticed a dip in numerous Fetchlands of that 5-10% already. So Misty Rainforest, which, I mean, back when Zendikar Rising, first came out, these were like $100. They're right around that $75 level. That's like a 20-25% decrease in price as people wait to see how they're going to come out for Modern Horizons 2, how many you're going to get in a box and all that. That's other people's fault, not yours. Okay, Fetchlands, no matter what, always will retain a certain value point. They never dip too low, and they always seem to bounce back. So this 25% dip per Fetchland on some types of Fetchland is going to net you guys a lot of money, who may decide to buy some of these, hold them for a while, and trade them in later on, or sell them to other players or people. I can see it now. I have a couple myself. I'm like, hey, I might pick up a few more now just to sit on to flip over later on. I may not need them at the moment, but I can see why. And I still think it's going to be the Zendikar Expedition ones that will be the lowest in price. Okay, so keep an eye out for this stuff, guys. It's pretty entertaining, and thank you so much for checking out my top 10 video on cards I think are going to go up. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our financial update video. Have a great one. Leave those comments in the comment section below, and I will get back to you. I really will, because, you know, that was the top 10. I should have done a top 20. Hey guys, big shout out to all my patrons out there. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel and continue to watch us grow. The most awesome patrons in the whole wide world are everyone who's my patron. That's the way it should be, right? All right, guys, have a great Monday. I'm still recording? What are you guys doing here? The video's done. There's no snappy outtake today. Just working on some stuff. Gotta prep up for the next day's video. What? There's no popcorn here. No, it's done. But you know what? I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Sneaky people. Catching me like this at the end of a video. Still recording. See you guys tomorrow.